go into my videos here and see if I can find this broadcast. And Steve still has his live stream going, but it is not really live. He should have shut that down, but we'll have to do that later. Don't have time to deal with that right now. Let me see if I can find this broadcast. Okay, here it is. All right. Steve still has his live stream going, but it is not. I'm going to go really live. I'm going to go delete that other one. Give me a moment, folks, while you get in there. I'm going in the other room. I'm going to delete that other event here. Give me a moment, and I will be back. I just want to delete this extra one. That. Give me a moment, folks, while you get in there. I'm going in the other room. I'm going to delete that other event here. Give me a moment, and I will be back. Oh, maybe he is live. Let me double check. Maybe he is still live. Give me a moment here and I will double check this, because I certainly don't want to delete his event if he's actually still live. So it seems like he might have sorted that out and he might be actually live, which is good. Maybe he is live.
I want to show you this little planet.
Okay, he is live. Okay, good. Okay. So I will stop my stream for now. All right, so I'm not sure what I should do at this point. Let me pause this. Stop my stream for. All right, so be a serve, Lance. Yeah, Steve. He had called me earlier and said that. Oh, I didn't focus this camera. I got to do that. So let me go do that. He had called me earlier and said that he was going to that he couldn't do his stream, that he had technical problems. And so, yeah, we got a miscommunication here. I didn't know that he was live, and I scheduled my live. I'd already scheduled my live for 5 o'clock. He was supposed to be live earlier. And so, yeah, I guess we're overlapping here a little bit. So that's what that is. And I've got the wireless mic on. That's why I was able to walk around and keep talking to you. Let me know how the audio sounds. And I didn't know you could host 2 live streams simultaneously. Yeah, you can. Absolutely, you can. Seriously, how does Craig already have a dislike on his stream? I'm giving you a like right now. Triforce Rich. There are trolls out there. There are trolls. Is Steve still broadcasting? Do you guys know? Has he wrapped his broadcast yet? Lance is in the house. DA Machine is in the house. Was it you? I'm just going to... one of the things that we talked about the other day was this bag. And we're going to talk about this bag a little bit. And I was going to give a walkthrough of everything inside. And then, of course, we'll talk about watches and whatever you guys want to talk about. But... no, I'm a member of the Holy Knights of the Wrench. I always like Triforce Rich. So let me know, as Steve wrapped, Steve just ended, okay, wrapped that puppy up. Okay, good. So maybe folks can pop over here then. Sorry for the mix-up. He was supposed to be on earlier, and then he had some technical difficulties, but I guess he got those sorted out, which is good, because I just watched a hair of it, and he had a nice Omega on the screen, so it looked like he had things working. I can get this mic out of the way, because that's not live right now. Let me know how the audio sounds. I'm using the lav. It will pick up a little more of the fan noise from the Roland switcher. Steve is very easy to listen to. He does a very nice job. Yes, he does. He's very smooth. He's a very nice guy all the way around, unlike yours truly here. he's a very nice guy. So there you go. We'll call his stream the nice guy stream. So we're going to talk about the Heirloom messenger bag. There are my photos on my Flickr channel, my Flickr feed, and there's the bag itself. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Craig, your sound is a bit off right now. Audio, well, Triforce and DM Machine says audio is good. The audio is good, says Lance. Well, it's not going to sound the same because I'm using this lav mic right here. So it is not going to sound the same, but I need to be able to move around. So that's why I needed to use this for this particular show, because I'm going to be moving over here to the bag and the other mic would not work. It's very directional. Audio is good. Can you toggle back and forth to the chipmunk voice, Stu, in the house? Probably not. I don't know how we create that. That's the problem. It's a mystery. And so there's a time check. We're about 5 minutes after the hour, and I posted something about the virus thing on one of my Facebook pages and stirred a little something up this afternoon. Kyle's in the house, and it's good news. I posted the news about the study in California that says that a whole lot more people had the virus and have recovered from it than we previously thought. So actually, sound is not good. The audio is terrible. Okay, what's happening now to the audio? Let me... Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. It sounds good here. Take a hit of a helium balloon. The audio is terrible. Okay, I wonder why. All right, well, let me kill this mic. Bring up my other mic. All right, this is this mic. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Is the audio a little bit better now? I'm back to this mic. Let me know what you think about that. The problem is when I start showing the bag, I got to kind of use the wireless mic. Was it was it not tolerable if I use the wireless? Let me know in the chat. I know there's a delay here. The audio is not that bad, says Stu. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. Let me know in the chat. I'm on this mic now. Okay, this one. Let me know if when I switch over to the other mic, gotta decline that. Let me know if when I switch over to the other mic, if it's terrible, right? I mean, if it's just not usable audio, then we'll have to figure out a plan C. Have to go from plan B to plan C. Thanks, Craig, again, for letting us call in yesterday. Kyle in the house. Well, thank you for calling in. That was a lot of fun. You guys are a lot of fun. You're always welcome. Craig, are you sick or just horrible audio? Audio is definitely better, but it wasn't terrible. Slight hum. Okay, well, we're probably getting some hum because I got the other mic coming in. The main microphone sounds better, says Lance. Well, yeah, I would think it would. But we're going to have to go with the lav mic when I'm showing it. So we really have no choice. It is noticeable, the difference, but not terrible, Carlos. Okay. All right, so let's get started then. Let's go through the bag, and then I can kill this mic. I won't have to worry about it anymore. But I'm going to have to bring the other mic up now. Okay, so I'm on the lav mic. Let me just listen real quick here, see what it sounds like. Okay, I'm on the lav mic now. Testing 1 2. Okay. All right, you should be able to hear me. And we're going to do this. Let me know in the chat if it's really terrible. If it's really terrible, then we'll figure something out. But let's go through the bag real quick, and that way we can get this part of the show out of the way. So this is the messenger bag. This is made in these United States of America, and very, very well constructed, as you can see. Okay, very solid, and I like the way it can set upright so that you can take things out of it. Very nice latch here. Okay, nice, comfortable handle too, and I'll show you the back before we go inside. The back, again, very, very sturdy. It has this piece all the way across here, and it's all riveted in and very, very sturdy. and then of course a very heavy-duty zipper here, and I've got some things in the back here, including my passport now. Didn't used to have that in there, but that is in there. Okay, so, and then of course you've got this place where you can hang things on the side, okay, and this is solid brass. All right, and then of course the strap, again, very well made, very durable, very comfortable, nice padding on here. Okay, they think of all the details. All right, so let's open this puppy up. All right, you kind of see what the inside looks like. And in this first bag, this came with a Jaguar, and it is fleece lined, and I've got different accessories for the laptop in here. I've got different dongles, I've got the power supply, I've got just a bunch of different things in here for accessories for the laptop computer. I won't go through all those accessories that I have in there. And let me set that down out of the way. Then I've got this Colonel Littleton bag. It came from Colonel Littleton, canvas bag. And inside this is an adapter and a cable. This is a Magewell adapter, Magewell, see that? And what this allows me to do is I can hook up a professional camera to my laptop. This is an adapter that allows me to hook up a camera using HDMI, and I can hook that up to my laptop if I'm out and about traveling and I want to do that. And then I've got some other accessories here for the iPad and different things. All right. Then I've got some more accessories. Okay, that's an HDMI splitter. All right. And then I've got place to put a watch, carry it safely. Then I've got a bag with some other accessories in here. Not sure what's in here. Yeah, just some accessories and some things. All right. Then I've got a power strip. Okay. Then I've got a Cat 5 cable. Okay. Then I have a pretty cool flashlight that's copper. Okay. And I'll just put that back in here. I don't have to take that out. Then I have over here a titanium flashlight. Okay. Then over here I have a Infinium, a Fisher space pen that you can write with forever. This is called the Millennium Edition. They have a couple different ones that are like this. One's called the Infinium or whatever. Anyway, that's pretty cool. Then I've got another flashlight. No, I'm sorry, that's a multi-tool little thing, little screwdriver thing. Then I've got a couple of pairs of glasses. I've got a mouse for the computer and a camera. And then over here on this side, I've got a notebook. You can see that. I'm not going to pull it out. A notebook with another Fisher space pen. Then I've got some other goodies here. You can see that. Okay. Trying to let you see these things. It's kind of difficult for me to get the angles right. And then, oh, there's another another power strip in here. Jeez. It's a little bit overkill, guys. A little bit overkill, but that's the way we do things. And then this lanyard here, whoops, see this? This you can have keys or something on that. That comes with the bag. And then in the back, let me spin it around here. See if you can see that. Yeah, in the back here, in this slot here, that's where the 13-inch laptop would fit. The MacBook Pro 13-inch, my new one, 2017, it'll fit in there. My old one, the 2010 that I'm using right now for this show, it would fit in the middle here, but I now have the smaller 13-inch that'll fit in the back. So that's the bag. That's the tour of the bag. And now let me know if you guys saw all of that. I'm going to go back to the other mic. Okay. All right. And I'm back to the other mic. Let me know in the chat if you saw all that. Let's see. The main microphone. Okay. It's noticeable. Okay. Where is that safari jacket you had yesterday? It's what's hung up in the closet. That's a jacket. Yeah, this is also made by Willis & Geiger. This is a shirt, and this is different fabric than the one I wore 2 days ago, which was a Willis & Geiger safari shirt that was made of the safari cloth. This is a different cloth. This is also made in the USA, but this is kind of an unusual one. I'd never seen one out of this kind of cloth. It's hard to describe. It's got a little bit of a texture to it. But it's very, very comfortable, pretty well made. So it's just another Willis & Geiger shirt, safari type style shirt. Let's see, not terrible, just a bit worse, maybe more than a bit. Honestly, that red color is fantastic. Usually I like more conservative, but that has a certain pop of color class to it at the same time. Yeah, it is unusual. It's an unusual color. I kind of like it too, but I don't know if I would get that or the brown, the dark brown, if I had it to do over again. It would be I probably would get this again. I do kind of like it. I do kind of like it. Yep. Okay, so what does it have, that outside strap with an airplane? Okay, Carlos, are you talking about this? Okay, so what that is that comes with your name engraved in a brass plate there. So I guess if you lose it or something, it's got your name. That's basically a name tag thing. That's what that is. Let's see. When you see how much it costs, you'll realize you don't need one. You can just pay for someone to hold your water bottle for you. Triforce Rich. Love the saddle color. Happy to see the channel back up and running. Okay, Greg in the house. Thank you. Thank you for popping in. That bag loaded with your stuff must weigh 25 pounds. It's not super light, but it's not terrible. But yeah, it's got a little bit of weight to it. If anyone has played The Legend of Zelda, then you realize that Craig has found Link's bag. It can hold more items than is physically possible. Triforce Rich. Is that bag Samsonite? Stu in the house. Or if you're playing a Bethesda Studios game, it'll say you're carrying too much weight and can no longer run. I assume it's not made in China, says Carlos. Yep, made in these United States. Craig uses mods. He doesn't have a carry limit. There you go. I'd rather have a suitcase or backpack. Can't do the man purse. Abuser. Love those space pens. Kevin D in the house. And let's see, I got to drink a little something. Prefer Switch. I used a messenger bag, military canvas shoulder bag for a while, and it honestly was awesome. It was a Belfast one. And Carlos says nice. And Carlos says and private. There you go. So, yeah, so that's the tour of that bag. Do you guys want to see what I have in the Colonel Littleton bag? What other leather color? It comes in brown. This bag comes in dark brown and black. I believe those are the two colors it comes in. You'll see them on the website. I put the link in the description. All right, but first I want to put my goodies back in so that I don't forget. I had a canvas messenger bag in high school. Didn't look like a purse. That's not my bag, baby. Greetings from Warwickshire. Okay, all right. Let me put these things back in here. Give me a second, and I'm going to be off mic a second, just because I don't want to. Well, I'll crank up the other mic, just in case I say something. Okay, all right. So let me put these things back in. Okay. All right. Mic up the other mic again, real quick here. I catch up on the comments. Yeah, and the idea with something like this is, what I like to do is I like to have a bag that's kind of ready to go, and that I can just put my laptop in or whatever, small little things, but all the other stuff is just kind of there and ready to go, so that way you're less likely to forget something that you need once you get there. Because when you've been somewhere with the bag, you kind of know what you need, right? You've kind of gotten that worked out. But if you unload the bag when you get home, and then you reload it each time, unless you have a list or something, then you invariably forget a little something, and that's just not good. So I like to have the kit ready to go with everything packed. Of course, some things that have batteries in them, you might want to charge the battery if it's been a while, like we're on quarantine now, right? Been a while, you might want to charge any batteries. But that allows you to grab and go and kind of have what you need. That's what I like to do. And I have a lot of different kits like this that are set up for different scenarios that are already ready to go. Let's see here. Carlos says, I see 720. Yes, 720. You're going to step up and get one. No, I have like 3 from Waterford Designs, and they're very good, and I like the design. While it is clear this is at a higher level. Okay, there you go. This is really a bag that's designed to last a lifetime. That's why they call it the Heirloom Messenger bag. I mean, this is you're not going to be able to hurt this thing. This is tough leather, and it can take a beating, and even if you beat it up, it's just going to look better. And it's going to protect whatever you have in it, because it's pretty solid. It can take a smack, and it's going to help, shield whatever's in there from whatever smacked into it. And push comes to shove, you could use this as a weapon. You could use this to block an assault, and you could use it to put a little bump on somebody. Put a little bump on the head. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go to the other bag. Give me a moment. And we'll take this one down. Okay. All right, now this bag is from Colonel Littleton. And this bag you definitely could kind of classify as a man purse. I mean, it's kind of got that look to it. But you can see here on the back, what I like about this, and this is, some of his bags have this and some of them don't, but this has the pipe across the back. I believe this is copper. And then, of course, it has the strap that you can easily unhook, okay, if you want to. And it's adjustable. It's got a nice, let me fix this here. It's got a nice method to adjust it here. You can see with these pins how you adjust that, right, to the proper length. And then, of course, it's got the handle here. You just carry it like that, right? And all very, very well done, very well made. And I believe this is also veg tanned leather. But you can see here, you know, the stitching, the quality of it. Now this particular bag I use for my iPad Pro. And again, it's set up as a kit. And in here I have a cable for a microphone. I have a mount, tripod mount for an iPhone. Okay, I'll set that down here. I have a ENG style microphone. That's for interviews. I have a tripod mount for an iPad to mount it on a tripod. Then I have in here a wireless mic system. This is a Sennheiser. This is what I have on right now. This is the same as the lav mic that I have on now. This is a Sennheiser AVX system wireless mic. The receiver's there. This is the transmitter, right? With the lav mic. Professional grade microphone wireless mic setup. And so that's in there at all times, ready to go. And again, I would make sure this was charged before I left, if it had been a while, right? So that's there. Then let's see what else. Then I've got in here, I've got a Shure MVI interface. This is a this allows me to hook the professional microphone. Whoa, whoa. This allows me to hook the professional microphone, if I can get it out of this bag. We don't want to unravel all this stuff. Anyway, this is an interface that allows you to hook a professional microphone up to an iPad or an iPhone. It has an XLR input there, and I can use that ENG style microphone that you just saw, or I can use the wireless Sennheiser mics. And that way I can hook them up to an iPad or an iPhone and get professional audio into an iPad or an iPhone. These Shure MVI mixers work great for that purpose. If I can get it back in the bag. And this is a leather bag, just a leather bag, right? All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, a wind muff for the microphone, an adapter cable, a charger for an iPad or an iPhone, and this is another wireless, a wired lavalier mic in there. All right, so we'll put that back. And then here we've got the keyboard for the keyboard case for the iPad Pro. And the iPad Pro can go in here with that. It slips right in here. Okay, and then all these other things go back inside, which I'll do right now. These other things back in here. These mics are really good. These Electro Voice ENG mics, very, very, very good for working out in the field. That's what all the news companies use. All right, and then that just closes back up, and we're back where we started. Okay, so that's a little tour of that kit. So let me bring this mic back up, bring this one down. Okay, so that's that kit. So let me catch up here. Let's see, Carlos also, maybe Craig demonstrate the solidarity, just toss it across the room. No, I have like 3, okay, I already read that. Okay, toss it across the room, read that, okay. But maybe I am storing it on my Evernote as an idea for the future, says Carlos. Evernote's a cool app. Good move. Triforce Rich, Carlos, also add a yellow gold date to that Evernote. Never too late to make the right decision. Greg, but don't you own a Rolex Date? Yes, Carlos has a Date in white gold. He has a Date in white gold. It's a stunner. It was on the show yesterday with it, or the day before he showed it. I think it was the day before he showed it. Eduardo, Greg, yes. Okay, Tim, the Skype link up yesterday was fun. At one point, I thought all viewers were going to Skype in. Tim in the house. Is that one also made in the USA? Yes, Colonel Littleton. Just Google Colonel Littleton, and you'll find his bags. They are fantastic. What model was this bag? This bag is discontinued. They don't make this one anymore. So I don't remember the model, but they don't make it anymore. If you look at my video, my review of this on my channel, I'll probably have the model in there. But unfortunately, they don't make this. They have similar bags, but not the same one. Let's see. I do not think that would happen. One that I have in my short list for the next year is one that Craig will hate. Oyster Petrol Royal Oak. Yeah, man, don't do that. Please, please, Carlos, don't make that mistake. Craig used to have an 18238, but sadly he sold it because he couldn't read the dial due to failing eyesight. That's right. That's happening when you get old. We need to get him to buy a new one. By the way, Craig, can you tell us the story? Tell us what story? How your eyes, deteriorate when you get older? That's like the oldest story in the book. It happens to everybody. See, here's the problem. I'm in denial about it, right? I'm wearing my reading glasses now, obviously, right? And they're actually not quite powerful enough. That's why sometimes I struggle with reading this. I got to up these one more power. Your eyes progressively get worse as you get older as far as reading. So you start out with like 150 power ones, and then you go to like 175 magnification, then you go to like 200, then you go to like 250. I think these are 200 or 225, so I got to go up to like 250. But anyway, so these are just cheap reading glasses, okay, that I'm using right now. Now, when I'm around and out and about, and I'm not wearing any glasses at all, right? So I'm kind of like in denial, right? And so without reading glasses, like right now, if I look at this watch, I can read it fine. No problem at all. I can read. I can exactly tell what the time is. No issues. I do it all day long, right? Any kind of lighting conditions, I can tell what time it is with this without reading glasses. If I was wearing the day date right now, and I looked at it, the day date with a silver dial that I had, and I looked at it, I'd be like going like this. I'd be like, oh, let's see, is it 5:30? Is it 6:30? Is it, I'd be struggling, right? And so that's the issue. It's not, it's not complicated. That's just the issue. Now, if I was wearing glasses all the time, like eventually I'll probably cave in and I'll probably wear glasses all the time. And, they'll be like progressives. I've got a pair of progressives, right? And I never liked them. And eventually I'll probably get to the point, like Steve wears his glasses all the time, right? So in which case, you can pretty much wear whatever watch you want. I could wear the day date because I'd have the reading glasses on, right? So that changes the game. But as of now, and for the last several years, I've been in that denial stage where I'm not wearing the glasses most of the time. And, my distance vision is pretty good. But close, I'm like doing this number, right? You'll get there when you get old enough. Let's see. Let's see. Of when it got stolen. That deal, that thing. That's complicated. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that on the channel. That's a little bit complicated. So nothing to talk about on this channel. I would need an inventory list to remember what I had in each bag. We'll see, if you leave the stuff in the bag, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it. Carlos, show up with that at our meetup, and I'll come with the Milgals. Craig will be thrilled. We can go to the local Tudor AD and make it a party. I assume there is Tudor in Fashion Valley or in La Jolla, or is that how you pronounce that? But I do not remember it. Okay, yeah. We'll find something in La Jolla. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Stu DeBaker. Okay. I want to go to the Tudor AD with you. I love the Black Bay and the Pelagos Blue Dial. There you go. Get you guys some Tudors. Big mistake, but go ahead and do that. The watch stores, okay, amazing. Okay, there we go. Craig did Did Clive get Skype? I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. If you come up a bit north, I'll take you to see my local ADs. Triforce Rich. Let's see. And that's where we are. Also, Grand Seiko Boutique in Beverly Hills. Oh, how nice is the Grand Seiko Boutique in Beverly Hills? Is it pretty cool? Cannot wait to go to those. Okay, time check. All right. So, let me think what else we're going to do here. This might be a relatively short show. Well, one thing I do want to do is, and there is a link to these photos, I believe, in the description of the video, but I just want to go through some of these photos so that, you know, I've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's here. Okay, that's a shot of the interior. You can see the quality of the detailing. Somebody says, I think that Tudor Black Bay 36 is stunning. Yeah, I'd pass on that. Studebaker, is the 9F keeping decent time? Oh my gosh, yes. They're insane, the accuracy on them. It's within 2 seconds, like, it's within a second. Mine's like within a second for like a year. I mean, it's insane how accurate it is. Okay, so we'll keep going here. My spring drive is within 2 seconds and 5 months accuracy. So yeah, they're both pretty insanely accurate. And the white balance was off just a little bit on these photos, so that's more like the real world color. That's pretty close, but it varies. Okay, so the GS's Beverly Hills is small but very nice. I've been there a few times and have dealt with Xavier. Okay, I got you. Is Steve Skyping in today? I don't know. Since he was able to pull off his show, he probably will not. Hi, Craig and all. Stopping in briefly on a busy Saturday. Kyle, do you guys want to check in from Venice and give us an update from Venice? Let me know in the chat, and you're more than welcome to Skype in. And Steve, it says Steve is active on Skype, and if he's around, he's welcome to Skype in. And if Carlos has the date handy, he's welcome to Skype in, but he's got to have the date. We can't let him Skype in with that, you know what, that he had on his wrist the other day. Thinking on the north of South Dakota before LA, I can think of 2 big luxury malls with great watch stores near Newport. Craig, you should go look at those Omegas that Steve was showing and give us your thoughts and opinion. I'm going to do it as soon as I'm able to travel to Little Treasury. Hopefully, I'm going to get a call from Steve that he'll have an 002, and then I will make a beeline for Little Treasury Jewelers. Trust me, I will. And we'll do a live stream from there, social distancing or not. When did you get your GS Spring Drive Diver? Almost 2 years ago. It's coming up on the 2-year anniversary. So I'll probably do a 2-year anniversary video, probably next month. But if you check my channel and you search SBGA231, the model number SBGA231, you'll find all my videos dating right back to the first videos I did, including the unboxing video that I did. And the unboxing video was like a week later because he mailed the box to me. And, you know, I cash and carried the watch, but he mailed the box to me, so that's how that worked. And Brett is in the house. And so let's see. Yep, Fashion Island has a Super AD Carlos that has almost everything. South Coast has all the high horology stuff and pretty much everything except GS, okay? The Omega Steve was showing were outstanding. Lamont's in the house. Craig, I got a Janpur black pack, and it's enough room for my lot. I got 8G. There you go. Cool. Lamont in the house. I live in Newport Beach, says Pete. I'm wearing the Explorer. After Chi asked me, I decided that not wearing it for several months, probably more than 6 months. Okay, well, call in and show us that then. Show us the Explorer, absolutely. And Lamont's doing it. Let's see, nice, Pete. We are going to drag Craig out here and we'll do a meetup. And Lamont says, my dad asked what year you're born, Craig. 1958. Really good year. That was a really good year. That year was a long time ago, though. There's a time check for those who want to keep up on the time. And there's that bag, that bag from Colonel Littleton. Which bag do you guys like? Which bag do you guys prefer? This bag from Colonel Littleton? Okay. All right. Or the bag I showed you earlier. Which one do you like? I like a bag that can sit up like this. I like that. That's a prerequisite for me. I don't like bags that fall over easily. So, yeah. Let's see. Nice. Okay, I got that. And Pete says, sounds good. Okay. All right, we are caught up on the comments, and we got nothing ringing on the phone. So I don't know if these guys are going to Skype in or what they're going to do. I'm trying to think what else. What else? A 1956 here, Craig. Whoa, okay. That's a good year, too. The earlier bag is just stunning, says Triforce Rich. Triforce Rich in the house. Well, here's the thing. This is the theme, kind of the theme of this channel, is if you buy the quality item, then you'll never kind of regret that, right?
What
And
else?
let me just,
1956.
hold on,
Craig.
Carlos. Let me make you
okay.
full screen so that I can, and get the headphones so I can hear you. Here we go. Okay, we got Carlos
How are you?
in the house. I'm doing great. You're looking great, and you're just relaxing. You haven't bothered to shave, which you don't need to do when you're in quarantine.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
see that watch.
Really.
Let me see that watch.
Yeah.
Let's see this. Oh, look at this. Wow.
By the way, when I tried it, I noticed that it was looser than it was.
You lost
Then I
some
had
weight.
to, yeah. Then I had to refit it, and to move it 2 slots on the micro adjustment.
Micro adjustment?
Then
Okay.
then I assume that is a good news or not.
Okay. Well, that's a good looking watch. Now, what size is that one?
This is the 39.
39 mil. 39 mil. And see, you've got a pretty good size wrist, so that's a good size for you.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
looks.
In my opinion, this watch is perfect. One of the things that I used to say is that if I will have, let's say, as much money as I will think of, and I will have to choose just one watch as my only watch forever, I
Yep.
think that I will choose this watch
That's not a bad
as my
selection.
only watch.
That's not a bad selection, not at all. Now, that's pretty trim,
Yeah.
right? Is it 11.6 mils thick? Do you remember the specs
I
on
don't
that?
know, but it's yeah. I think that
It's thin enough.
it's quite.
You could wear it with a dress shirt, right?
Yes. In fact, I wear this watch. Sometimes I wear it for travel, and also sometimes on business. If I
Yeah.
don't want to wear on business suit with something really flashy, or
Yeah.
go a bit more under the radar, not because security or whatever, just because sometimes
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable wearing something more, let's say.
Absolutely. No, that's very nice. It's got nicely sloped bezel, so yeah, that would work very well for dress purposes on somebody with your size wrist. Somebody with a smaller wrist, I'd still recommend them go with a 36 if they had a smaller wrist, but for you that looks good. Looks perfect.
No, the 36 is perfect watch too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Now,
And one thing that is
mhm,
perfect, in my opinion, on this watch is the easy link. This and in fact, one of the things that I used to wear,
mhm,
I used to wear this watch when I am traveling,
mhm.
and it's very common that I have to use the small adjustment.
And that's a
You can
half.
adjust it.
That's a half a link, right? That
Yeah,
adjusts.
have
Yeah.
a link
Yeah.
that usually for me is perfect.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I am not very picky, but
Yep. Well, I agree. I mean,
there's a,
better a little loose than a little tight. If if you have to put that out and it's a little bit too much, that's still better than being too tight. All right, we got to
yeah.
catch up on the comments here real quick. Megan says we never heard from Steve on the Swiss Army watches. Call Steve on the phone, Megan. He'll talk to you. Call him on the phone and tell him Craig said, to call, and he will take good care of you, I'm sure. And let's see. Seriously, though, Carlos, you need to start double edge shaving. No more Gillette cartridge crap,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And Kyle says, nice watch, Carlos, and added to that, wow. So, yeah, he likes it. Carlos, what was that yellow dial watch that you were wearing yesterday? Lance is asking.
It's a Doxa.
Doxa. And
Doxa sub 300.
Scott is saying, Carlos, how are you today, young man? Cute watch.
Yeah.
And he says,
Mhm.
and Scott says, hey boys, saying hello to everybody. Carlos, how long ago did you buy the Explorer?
I think that 2.5 years ago or
Okay,
something like that.
okay.
Yeah.
And Pete says 36 or 39. It's 39, Pete. And
Mm.
Carlos watch was a Doxa. Okay, Tim getting that in the chat. It's getting hot and sweaty down here in Florida. Steamy boys. Yeah, this is not the time of the year to be in Florida. It's best to be north this time of the year. Florida's great for the winter, but not from now on. It's the hot time. And Kevin's in the house. Clean watch. Wish they left the numbers off. Well, but that's what makes it an Explorer. If you don't want the numbers, then buy the Oyster Perpetual, right?
Yeah.
You can get a
But
similar dial in an Oyster Perpetual with just hash marks, right? With a black dial.
mm,
I think you
the only
can.
problem on the Oyster Perpetual, and in my opinion, is I don't understand why they did it. The Oyster Perpetual does not have the Easy
Easy
Link
Link. Yeah,
extension,
yeah, yeah,
and I think that is a nice feature.
yeah, yeah. They're
I
doing
don't
that
know.
to keep the price down. They're just trying to keep the
Yeah,
price down. Yeah.
yeah, but seems no. But this one is very, very, very trim. By
Mm-hmm.
the way, one thing that to me at that time surprised me a lot is that basically the Daytona, that is the 14 mil,
Mm-hmm.
basically is the same watch. Basically, it is the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
watch.
yeah,
I
and
don't know.
they put the Faraday cage. That's why it makes it so thick, and that's why I don't
No,
like the.
The Daytona.
Oh, the
I mean
Daytona. Okay, yeah, the
the
Daytona's
Daytona
very trim.
basically is the same. It's like is this trim and
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, the Daytona has a great case. It's got a
yeah.
great case.
Man,
Let's.
it's very nice watch. I had problems with the readability, being 51 years old, uh, but I really love
Now, do you
the look
find
of the
now speaking about legibility, you find that watch to be very legible, right?
well, yes, this is
Very easy to
perfect.
read, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely,
And
definitely.
and
This is
Brett asked what year is that? He said about 2.5 years ago he got it, so that dates it there because he bought it new. Um, Scott's in
mm,
the house. I love to lay eyes on. I'd love to lay eyes on Lamont. Uh-oh. And Scott, Brett says Scott is a creep. Okay, well there you go. You never know. And so yeah, that's a stunner. Okay, so
yeah.
is anybody else going to Skype in and join Carlos? You're going to leave him in here all alone? What's up with that? Anyway, let me know if you're going to Skype in. And is there any light at the end of the tunnel on your quarantine there, Carlos? I mean, any idea at all when they're going to lift the restriction?
Uh, No idea, but I assume that Panama are going to be extremely cautious because really the problem here is that let's say that a lot of people in the country have very very little discipline, and I don't know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I am assuming that at least like 1 or 2 weeks more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least, but no idea. I assume that they are going to be very very cautious because
Yeah.
currently they are stopping like arresting like 700 people per day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they caught you without complying with the curfew,
Mm-hmm.
they get your car. You lost your driver's license for three months, and
Yeah.
you have to do social work, cleaning the
So it's
streets and
serious,
things like that.
serious business. And
Yeah,
so, okay, so somebody said that Derek says, if you don't hit Scott with a wrench, I will. Well, go ahead, let him have it, Derek. That's why you got the wrench. You're a member of the wrench gang. If you think he needs a little tap on the head with the wrench, then go ahead and do it. Stu says that's a nice Explorer. Well, yes, it is. Explorer 1 is definitely going to be my next watch. I don't blame you. That's a good one and done watch. And and Scott says, "Come get it, big boy." Well, he's tempting the wrench gang. Hopefully, somebody from the wrench gang will take him up on that and give him a little tap on the head. Triforce Rich, I heard there is a prostitution problem in Panama. That's not.
mm,
That's like in anywhere else, right? I mean, it's not abnormal
no,
there, right?
no, I will not say that there is a big problem
Yeah.
about that. At least I don't have the idea.
Yeah, I'm sure that's just a particular part of town, and that's the same thing in just about any big city, I would think.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and Stu DeBaker, I got a phone call and had to leave the broadcast for a minute. Didn't hear. If you answered my question, do you need to send the 9F to Grand Seiko to change the battery? No, no, no. Any competent jeweler will be able to change that battery for you without any issue. That's not a major thing at all, and it should be very reasonable. The price should not be expensive to switch that battery. If they're going to charge you a lot of money to switch that battery, you need to find another jeweler that you can trust. Would you agree with that, Carlos?
Yeah,
They shouldn't
yes.
charge that much to switch out a battery in a watch.
I
Uh,
am noticing after fitting the bracelet that
mhm.
I still have one sticker on the watch.
A sticker you forgot to remove. Okay, well, you might as
Yeah,
well leave it then. It's been there that long. You might
yeah,
as well. What the
yeah,
heck?
yeah.
Okay, so Kevin says, what's the cost on the Explorer? Do you know what the list price is
uh,
on those now?
I know that I paid for it $6,000.
Okay, 6,000.
I purchased it on my AD,
Mm-hmm.
but on they have the Panama AD
Mm-hmm.
has different places, and this one I purchased it on the duty free part on the airport.
Okay,
Yeah,
good, good.
and
Okay,
they I think that the regular price was like 6,500. I remember that I paid say 6,000. Yeah.
and David says AD will be able to handle. He's talking about the battery change. Yeah, and you don't even have to go to an AD. You could go to any competent jeweler. Will be able to switch that battery out. And Kyle Jet's in the house. David got him. Okay, yeah, I guess he did. Does it need to be changed annually? No, about every 3 years. You should count on about every 3 years. Craig, while you have Carlos on the phone, convince him to call Steve live and buy a GS. No, I think it would be better for Carlos to come when he comes to Maryland. We'll all party together, and we'll get him drunk, and then maybe he'll buy a GS. Maybe he'll buy a GS. David's in the house every 3 years. I have the same 9F as Craig's. Lamont, who is live. Yeah, we're live. We're all live. Stu's in the house. That is a handsome watch. Yeah, well, yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, if anybody else wants to Skype in, now's the time to do it. We're coming up on an hour on the show, and Carlos is all alone in the Skype chat. So you guys should come in and join him if you've got time. And I'll try to do a show again tomorrow, same time. sometime this week I'm going to try to do a later show because some of the folks in Asia have asked for a later show. So I might do one like at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or something like that, a little bit later, but we'll see how that works out. And Lance is in the house. Craig, would you ever buy an Explorer? Oh my gosh, yes. That would be high on my list of possible watches. I've talked about the Explorer is a fantastic option. A lot of the Oyster Perpetuals are fantastic options. What I like about a watch like that is because it doesn't have the date wheel, it's a little bit thinner. It's thinner than a Datejust, and it is less complicated to use. You don't have to worry with setting the date. You just wind it up, set the time, and go, right? You don't have to worry about when the date is going to change, if it's changing at noon or midnight and all that kind of nonsense. You just you wind it, set the time, and go. And I don't really need the date on my watch anymore these days because everything else has the date. I don't mind checking the phone to get the date, right? I don't like checking the phone to get the time. It's a hassle for me. Because I just don't want to fumble with the phone when I want to know what time it is. I want to just turn my wrist and see. Everybody says, well, you don't need a watch because you've got a phone. Do I want to fumble with my phone every time? That's why people all have broken screens on a lot of their phones, right? They're fumbling with their phone to check the time. They've got something in their hand. They're juggling it and trying to figure out what time, and then they drop the thing on the ground and break it. And I'm not going that direction. I want to have a dedicated piece to be able to tell what time it is. So yeah, that's the thing. And Craig, you should do more live streams. I've been doing them every day, Greg. What the
Yeah,
heck
it's
do you
hard.
want? Is Clive
You
Skyping in
can.
still? Hopefully he will. Let's see. I'm glad to see Carlos. I thought he might be a fictitious character, says Stu. And Greg says, you should do more live streams. Okay, I just read that. Let's see what else we got here. Craig, we can't end yet, says Derek. I like the oyster bracelet on the Explorer too. I'm getting feedback from somewhere, Carlos. Is there feedback coming from something?
I am having feedback. No,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
think
hearing
so.
something. Okay. All right, so we haven't covered the day date, says Derek. We did 3 shows in a row about day dates. Carlos, do you only own Rolex? No, he has a Patek Philippe. He has some other watches. But for some reason, we're getting some feedback. I'm going to let you go, Carlos. Can you pop
Let
into the
me turn off. Maybe it's this.
other
This
show
sound.
somewhere else? Yeah, you got to turn the volume down on wherever the show is playing
No,
through.
no, I don't. I don't have. No, no. No,
Okay.
maybe it's the internet connection.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I used to have a good internet here,
Okay.
but for some reason, it is not working very well now.
Okay. Gotcha.
I have I have to I have to put a cable instead. I have a PLC to bring the internet through the power line,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason it's not working well now.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Okay, so we got a couple more comments here. Triforce Rich says Greg wants to see a 24/7 live stream.
yeah.
Yeah, well, we're working on that. We're trying to expand. We had, by the way, Rachel was on earlier today. So when you folks see Rachel doing a live stream, at least pop in and put a comment in, say thanks for doing the show or something. Show a little bit of support, folks. Trying to build up the channel and get some more content, and it helps if you guys show a little bit of support for these other folks. So there you go. And somebody asked, "What's for dinner, Carlos? What are you eating for dinner?"
I don't know. I don't know. We had barbecue for lunch. We used to have barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I don't know what something easy.
You'll have to
no,
you'll have to figure
no,
something out. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Probably no idea. No idea.
All
no
right.
idea.
Well, folks, this is the
Uh,
last call for comments or questions. Last call for comments or questions. We're coming up on an hour on the show, and I've got a couple things I have to do because I was a little bit behind schedule today because I posted a kind of a controversial posting on Facebook, and it stirred up a real, you know what, storm. and a bunch of people commenting and so on, and some trolls going in there, and so I had some things I had to deal with, but I finally got to the end of the rope on this shutdown thing and posted a little something. I posted something about that study that came out of California that I don't know if you guys are familiar with that study, but it's what they did was they tested a bunch of people for antibodies, and what the test revealed is that 50 to 80 times the number of people had the virus and had recovered than they thought. And so basically what they determined, what the study determined, this was Stanford University, this was not some schlock operation, right? What they determined is that a lot more people had the virus and recovered than they thought, and so therefore the actual death rate on this thing is actually much lower than anybody thought. Much, much lower, and not even a close call. Matter of fact, in line with a bad flu season. And so this is really good news. And I posted a link to this study, and people going in there, oh, this is irresponsible and all this stuff, I said, listen, I'm sharing the data. This is I think this is a legit study. The link I shared was from CNN. Fox also reported on the same thing. So mainstream media is actually reporting on this study. And this is the best news that we've had, in my opinion, since this whole thing started. And this is the only really favorable news that we've had, that a lot of people have had this thing and recovered. I mean, that is good news by any measure. And so yeah, I shared it, and man, were people went crazy. Oh, you can't even suggest that we reopen the businesses. Everybody will die. Everybody will go out and get the thing, and they're all going to die, and blah, 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 and we'll overwhelm all the hospitals and all this stuff. And I said, well, listen, I'm just sharing data here. If a lot of people have already had it, they ain't going to be running into the hospital anytime soon. They've already had it and recovered. In other words, this thing might be, totally on the downside. It might be, fading away. And if that's true, and there are other studies that are going on right now that will probably, buttress this further and verify that this study's real and correct, this could be very, very good news. Can you put the link down below, Tim McDonald? All you have to do is search the Stanford University study, search COVID-19, Stanford University. I mean, it's all over the place now. It's not a secret.
And there is a channel that I highly recommend. That is John Campbell, Dr. John Campbell is this one.
Yeah. And
this is very good. Every day has a small show on different things. And I think that it was like 2 or 3 days ago. One of the shows were called like asymptomatic spreaders, and was precisely about that.
He talked about the study. Did he talk about the study also?
About that. There are other reasons about the death rates. And another very interesting about the vitamin D. Vitamin D, it seems that is extremely important for this.
Yeah, and that's why they shouldn't have people locked up in their house. That's why people should be able to get outside and get vitamin D. So Pete is in the chat, and he says herd immunity. Yeah, that's part of it, absolutely. If you've got a bunch of people out there that have had it and gotten over it, and have the antibodies and so on and so forth, then theoretically they're not going to spread it to anybody at that point. They're past the point where they would be able to spread it to anybody. So that's right. If you have a whole bunch of people that have had it and gotten over it, then that's fewer people that can spread it to anybody else. And just the fact that we know that all these people have had it and recovered, that's just good news, period. That's just saying that, it's not as deadly as they originally said. I mean, they were originally saying 1 to 3% death rate, that basically 1 to 3% of the people that got this thing were going to die. That's what they said. And if that were true, that would have been catastrophic. That would have been really, really, I mean, really bad, right? As it turns out, it's not anywhere near that high. It's a small
Yeah.
fraction of that. And so we dodged a bullet here, and hopefully the authorities will realize this, and we can open up for business sooner rather than later. They should, in my opinion, they should open immediately. They should just say, hey, listen, this changes everything. People that are at risk, people that have pre-existing conditions, people that are older or obese, whatever, they should self-quarantine and be very careful because they are very susceptible to dying of this thing. So they should take special precautions. But everybody else that's pretty much healthy, they should just go ahead and go out and do their thing. I think that would be the best solution to this whole thing. But then again, I use logic and reason, and the politicians don't always do that. And Greg Bott says death is much lower. Absolutely. It was
Yeah,
obviously.
but this show precisely I highly recommend the one about asymptomatic spreaders.
Mhm.
If I remember well, I think that he is considering that the real figure could be closer to 0.2%. How
Yeah,
about that?
yeah. It's similar to a bad flu season. It's similar.
Yeah.
It's similar to that. And so this is where we are, and hopefully the authorities will realize this. Tim McDonald says it was obviously more widespread in America than was known. And see, that's the thing. That could explain why we have a fairly large number of deaths in New York City. Is, my gosh, if all these people were on the subway and all infecting each other literally for months, then yes, you could have had millions of people in New York could have had it. And so, of course, you're going to have, even at a low percentage of death rate, right? It's still going to be a lot of people because you're talking about millions of people. So it's good that the real data is starting to come out, and hopefully this will work. Craig Snow is your Facebook post. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by Craig Snow. Oh, show? Did you mean show is your? No, I don't know what you're saying there. Show. Craig Show is your Facebook page. No, my Facebook page is under my name, Craig Shipp. And then I've got the Frederick County page where I've actually posted some of that on, and that's where the real controversy happened, was on the Frederick County Facebook page. So there you go. Greg Allen, Craig, do you have any items that were made in the USA? Yeah, a ton. Go to my Made in USA YouTube channel, and you'll see a ton of things that I've reviewed that are there. And there's the channel that Carlos is recommending. Let me show that on
This is
the
another channel that I
yeah.
highly recommend.
There you go.
About it's now it's a lot about the coronavirus,
Hmm.
but it's very interesting. This is the author of the Dilbert cartoon. You know the
Oh, okay.
Dilbert principle. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's a brilliant person. Usually, it's more about politics and persuasion. Now
Hmm.
is more about the coronavirus,
Yeah.
but it's very interesting. It's something interesting. He does the
Yeah.
show every day at my 9, and now he's doing on the afternoon too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very highly recommended. He also is a hypnotist, and sometimes he teaches you tricks to avoid anxiety, and yeah, he's very constructive, and it's very interesting. He's, I will
We're,
say, uh, pro-Trump, and sometimes you can see a lot of trolling
hmm
because he recognized a lot the persuasion skills from Trump,
Okay.
and yeah, but he is very, I would say, very
Okay.
balanced in his opinion. Try to get the facts. Yeah, it's interesting.
All right. Well,
I
we
highly
will
recommend.
we will we will take a look at it. I'm going to let you go because they want me to show them the Facebook page, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to wrap this puppy up. And thank you for popping in.
Thank you, Craig, for the shows.
Yep.
Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye bye.
There you
Bye
go.
bye.
There you go, Carlos, just like that. Okay, let me see if I can pull up the Facebook page, the Frederick County Facebook page, and I can show you that. It's loading slowly. Let me do a time check here while we're doing that. And I'll get this loaded in, and then I'll cut to the laptop when I get it loaded up here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so that is the Frederick County Facebook page. The URL is facebook.com/Frederick County, facebook.com/Frederick County. So that's that page, and where's the posting that I mentioned? This is the posting that I mentioned. You can see it's gotten a lot of activity. A lot of activity, to say the least. Okay, so that's that, and then I'll show you my page also, my personal page, and that is my personal page, facebook.com/Frederick News, facebook.com/Frederick News. That is my personal page. So there you go. Greg says, most of my purchases are either Chinese or Taiwanese. I know that's what most people are buying, and that's not a good thing. You should rejiggle that so that you're buying USA-made items as often as possible. Canada's okay too. You know, England, buy some stuff from them, but stay away from the Chinese stuff. Although my Saturn was made in the USA. Are most of your everyday use items American-made? Yes, most everything I have is American-made, or German, or England, or something like that, but mostly American-made. Hasn't there been a high death rate on the cruise ships around the world? How can this be explained, Tim in the house? I don't think so. And of course, if you're going to have a lot of people that are elderly, they are the ones in the high risk demographic. So if you've got a concentration of people that are at high risk, like for example a nursing home or a cruise ship, then you're going to have a much higher death rate. Absolutely, you're going to have that, because you got the people that are very much at risk, right together, and that's a recipe for disaster. American made except for the watches. There you go. Your 9F would look nice on a blue rubber strap. Stu in the house. I like going through items quickly with Chinese. If it breaks, just buy a new one. Craig in the house. Throw away society. Maybe he's trolling a little bit. But anyway, we're going to wrap this puppy up. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will do it again. We will absolutely do it again sometime. Thanks again. Hey, click subscribe, click the little bell.